Edition of the Regional American Chamber of Commerce Kenya Business Summit has commenced here in Nairobi. President William Ruto is set to be the chief guest during the two-day meeting that aims to expand commercial opportunities and markets. Our business reporter Noakip Kimboy is covering the event for us and now joins us live. Good afternoon, Noah. What's the latest from AMCHAM?
Good afternoon, Aseto. It's a beautiful, beautiful afternoon. Trust you me, even as majority of Nairobians were swimming to work this morning right here at AMCHAM. It's a bustling of activities because we have many companies. And what is the foundation of all this is investment. How can we put money somewhere and it bears fruits with economic benefits? Look at Kenya. We need employment. We need to value add our products. How can we do that? Such forums as these create that impetus to be able to do so. And this is the fourth summit, as you've rightly put it. So a lot is expected. So far, if you look at the past three summits, over $135 billion have been brought on the table in regards to investment, and they are aiming that by the year 2025 these will more than double to $350 billion worth of investments from American businesses right here in Kenya. Now, is that a reality? That's the big question that we're asking this afternoon. And right now I'm joined by Mr. Peter Ngahu, who is the AMCHAM board chair. So thank you very much for making time. So far, how's the summit taking you?
No, thank you very much, and I'm delighted to be here. So far, the summit is going very well. Very strong interest and very strong delegations from the US, and we've also been very excited by the number of participants from the Kenyan private sector, particularly, and also from the government of Kenya. Going very well. Started very well, despite the rains.
Definitely, despite the rains. I hope you didn't swim here. I've seen the places, looks really nice. But talking about investment opportunities, I feel there's an opportunity that we are selling Kenya to investors out there. For the longest time, our trade with the US has been apparel mostly. Is there a goal to diversify further?
Absolutely, no, and we've seen a lot of that in the last, particularly the last couple of years, and Ambassador Whitman has been a very good catalyst for that interest in the country. So we want to thank her as an AMCHAM board. We're seeing investment in all sorts of sectors. Yes, apparel is important from a manufacturing side, but we are seeing investments in the ICT sector. We are seeing investment in agri-tech, in fintech. And we expect more of that to continue to come into the country, and especially we are targeting manufacturing as well as a sector because of its impact in job creation.
Definitely. And there's this issue of the macro conundrum. Looking when the US, the Fed raises the rates, we saw what happened, outflows of investments, massive. I was just listening to IMF the other day. They're predicting that in the second half, we'll start seeing the rates coming down. Is that an indication that there is a certain level of confidence amongst the US investors to put their money in Africa and specifically Kenya?
The business economic environment and the macroeconomics will always be unpredictable because we are living in a world that is very interconnected, and what happens in one part of the world can have a significant impact, as we've seen with the Ukraine war. So, but everything that we are seeing and the interest that we are seeing in the country in terms of investment appetite, particularly from US companies, tells us, investors invest with long-term in mind. That interest wouldn't be there if there's no confidence in the country in the long term. So we are very optimistic as AMCHAM that the macroeconomic indicators will continue to head in the right direction. There are pressures all over the place. We know them, whether it's cost of food, hopefully it will come down with the rains, and other factors that put pressure on the economy. We are not alone as a country. All developing countries come under these sorts of pressure. It's how we manage them. And as AMCHAM, we are working very closely with government, engaging on a continuous basis to help them reform and also put the country in a better trajectory.
Okay. And lastly, for the longest time we've talked about AGOA, which is actually set to expire in 2025 September. That has been a huge concern for a lot of people, but I'm looking about incentives for these American investors into the country. Are we doing something different from what we've done initially to incentivize investment into this market?
Absolutely, and yes, the AGOA initiative is critical, not just to Kenya, but to the East Africa region and beyond. It expires in 2025, and as Ambassador Whitman said in her opening remarks today, she's very optimistic and very confident that that will be renewed. And we hope that other incentives in that agreement can also be put in place. We'll be discussing those. But yes, the government is doing several things. The president last year announced various tax initiatives, including the equity ownership by ICT companies, the 30% VAT on exported services, and the removal of those things has resulted in immediate investments by American companies because they are then able to invest here. So yes, there are things happening. I think we can do more and we can execute much faster, but the opportunity is definitely there, and the interest is very, very, very clear for us to see.
Definitely. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate you taking time to speak to KTN News. Asante sana. That is Mr. Peter Nga, who is the AMCHAM board president, and he says that the opportunities are there. The macros are aligned, and we are ready to receive the investment. Aseto, I don't know whether in studio you are ready to receive this American investment, but right here at AMCHAM, the air is speaking, and it's